what's going on with Fish USA these days?
Yeah, so there's a lot happening. We're here at the show, and this is one of our favorite shows to come to just because it's really in our backyard. It's really the roots of what Fish USA started as a Great Lakes, um, you know, just carrying Great Lakes tackle. But now we're really trying to expand into other parts of the country, and that's really our mission. We have a crew right now in Portland, Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
showing the brand from a branding standpoint out there. And we really want to live out the tagline of America's Tackle Shop, and that's our mission right now. We're very well known in the Great Lakes, but we still have a lot of work to do nationally, and we're spending a lot of time in other parts of the country. We're going to be at the Catfish Conference next week in Louisville, Kentucky. We're going to be at the Bassmaster Classic here in March, which is our first time ever going to that event. So it's really cool to really just see a different environment, different type of angler, and just get to really mesh it all together and really get to learn how every angler is very different. Great Lakes fishermen are very different than bass anglers down south, and how the Great Lakes salmon fishermen is very different than the West Coast salmon fishermen. And then putting all that together and learning how it all works, it's been really cool to see, and there's a lot of room for growth, and that's our mission.
Yeah, a lot of boots on the ground.
A lot of boots on the ground for sure, and we are a digital company, and that's where we spend most of our time and effort. But I think it's important to really get in front of the customer and be be there with them, to have that physical presence. I think it's important, and we're really putting a concerted effort into that this year and making an effort to be at these shows.
Yeah. So Fish USA, America's Tackle Shop, and you're an online company. But there are places, we always want people to go to their local retailer, visit them, but there's a lot of places that just don't have a strong local retailer presence. You guys kind of bring that pro shop to the online customer.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we carry all the big brands, your Shimano's, your Ipalas, your Berkeley's, but we also spend a lot of time working with small manufacturers. We have a lot of them. And I think that's really important because at the end of the day, customers will really want that. It's not about, just as much money as you can make. These small manufacturers mean a lot to the industry. Whether it's you're buying it through a brick and mortar store or buying it online, they're just really important to us in the entire industry. And we do make a concerted effort to have a lot of niche brands, and we're going to continue expanding on the brands that we have.
Anything for Doug?
Tell us about the flagship rod.
Yeah.
I know I was kind of part of it. You guys helped, or I should say you asked me to help you with the testing the rods.
Mm-hmm.
We tested a few varieties, before you finalized it. I love them. I think it was a great move. Like the rods a lot. They've been great in my vote. And, so how's that going for you?
It's been going it's exceeded my expectations. We started with the trolling rods last February. And since then, we've added salmon and steelhead rods. We've added trout rods. We just launched our bass fishing line of rods in January. We've added some new models into the trolling rod lineup, and there's going to be a lot more rods to come.
Do you have a telescoping rod too?
Yeah, we have 2 different telescoping models that were just launched about 3 weeks ago.
That's one of the guys I bumped into. I knew was on their way down there to check out telescoping rods, and I said, I didn't even know you had those also.
Yeah,
so
no, we just launched those about 3 weeks ago, and I think those are going to be terrific rods, very versatile rods. Again, targeting a different type of fisherman, smaller boats, inline planer boards. Most of the rods that we came out initially with were for big boats. So just something different. And we're going to continue to expand on this line. And we really want the customer to get engaged with them. And really, we're seeing our team over there wearing Flagship Rod shirts. And that's really a brand within a brand. And we really want to grow this thing and bring value to the customer. And that's really the important part with this entire launch is we really wanted to bring value. And when you look at the rods and what you're getting for the value and what you're paying for them, there's a lot to them. And I'm really proud of our team and the effort that we put into this to be able to get to where we are today.
Yeah, I think the price point's a very good price point for the angler, and then I think they're an attractive rod. I mean, they're a good looking rod, so they look great on my boat at least. We really like the way they look, and Doug and his team did a great job coming out with those rods, and I think it's good. It's been proving itself, but will continue to prove themselves. Really, they're great rods to try with folks out there looking to support, local company, I should say, local, but local kind of, and support the rods that you've introduced. They get a variety for steelhead, for bass guys, for light line, for heavy guy, wire divers, downrigger rods, copper, lead core rods. So I've had obviously just the ability or chance to check boat rods per se, right? But loved them all. Great.
So we did a short video here a little while ago. I had Pete over in your booth, and we just did a short video on your diver rod, and we've actually had a lot of questions about diver rods this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about your diver rod?
Yeah. So I think the most challenging part of a diver rod, specifically wire, is, that's a very tough material to deal with, 7-strand wire, and that it's so thin, it's so thin, and it cuts through guides. And it took us. We learned very quickly on our first set of prototypes, and we burned through some guides. Like, no, we got to go back to the drawing board on this one. So we worked with the factory, and we came to the real features. It's a certain insert that we're using. It's a very hard material. It's top of the line. Both of the guides have really strong, durable feet on them. So when you're fishing, there's no stretch in that line. So it's got to be able to take that impact. They're built with a toy tip, which everybody's very familiar with. So that's really and they're great action. We fish a lot, so we know what actions we're looking for. I think we dialed that in and just build the components around that. And I think we've done that and built a really great rod.
We had Casey Prisco on yesterday, and he was talking about some new spoons. And I was just over at the booth here this morning, picked up a couple of those. Tell us about those spoons.
Yeah, Casey did a terrific job, and this really came to us very quickly. We met with Stenger about 2 weeks ago, and they're like, "Hey, we got these spoons," and we talked to Casey, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do them. Let's get them at the show." And they've been terrific. I mean, they've been very, very well received. We do have a handful left. There's not many left. We did bring a lot. So yeah, terrific job to him and coming up with those designs. I think he really wanted to create some nice brown trout patterns, and I think he did a terrific job.
You're working with him. You're working with guys like Pete Alex. You've got some guys on Lake Erie. You got guys all over the place. Tell us about some of the people you're working with and how you go about
So that's one of the cool things is we work with a very diverse group of anglers. And again, going back to our roots of what we are, we've been working with Pete for a very long time. We work with Rick Hajecki, again, Great Lakes people that are very well known in this region. But, we just, 2 years ago, we signed Matt Becker, who just won MLF Angler of the Year last year. So in the bass world, he's a top 10 angler in the entire world on the bass side. We work with Joey Nania. He'll be fishing the Bassmaster Classic very soon. And just super cool diversity in the types of people that we get to work with. We're working with a group on the West Coast called Addicted Fishing. And just those anglers and how they go about just conducting business is just super cool. And it's part of the team. And I think that's one of the attractive things about FishUSA is we work very hard to put a great product out for our customer. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the team that we work with. And we have a great team of people internally in our extension team, people like Pete.
And these guys always, like Doug would always say, we're always into moving the needle in the right direction. Yeah. So what they did by having a network of, we'll just say pro anglers spaced in locations from west to east to south to different types of fishing, from kayaks to bass to steelhead to Great Lakes. And these guys take that information and basically build upon it, or it informs them of what the people, what I want for a rod, or what this guy wants for a rod, what this guy wants for a bass rod. And these guys listen and they build upon that with their team. And they go back and they say, that's what the guys want. Let's build the mousetrap that people want. So they take that data, where most companies I know don't do that, right? This is what we sell, this is why, and this is it, take it or leave it.
We really do
take it that extra step, and they use guys like myself to provide that feedback and listen.
At the end of the day, it does come down to the team. And I view everybody that we work with, Pete's a part of our team. Rick is a part of our team, and that's what we're really trying to build upon. And it's the same thing of the customer base. We have a very loyal customers that, they shop with us religiously, and we enjoy that. We want them to feel that and feel as if we're providing a great service to them, and they feel part of what we do. We love that, and we want to continue to live out that mission and really become, again, America's Tackle Shop.
You guys been working for quite a while with Stealth Core. If people don't know about Stealth Core, can you give us a little overview on that?
Why don't you give a little history first?
I'll let you go ahead.
This is really your baby, your brainchild.
So stealth core, bothered me fishing lead core. I fish a lot of lead core, really, and it's probably one of the first guys that really bring it to Lake Erie from Lake Ontario. I saw how effective it was in getting your baits down deep. And in Erie, we were old school, doing different things back then. We were adding weights and all kinds of different stuff to obtain depth. But when lead core first came out and hit kind of Lake Ontario first, tapped into it up there because they got it, so I got to have it. You know, every tool that catches fish, and you got it and I don't, you got the edge. So it's all about making sure my edges are equal to your edges. So lead core started, and then so I kind of brought that whole lead core thing back to Lake Erie to chase these walleyes when they went deep. Okay, very effective. And so what bothered me the most was putting the traditional lead cores in the water with yellow, bright yellow, white, bright blue, red, black, gray. Intentionally, they color line every 30 feet intentionally, so the anglers can count every 30 feet it changes. 30 feet of blue, that means 30. Here's yellow. Now I got 60 feet out. But we're fishing tough conditions, calm lakes, semi-clear water, high sun, and we're dumping. I run 4 to 5 sides, or 4 or 5 rods per side of my planet boat program. I'm dumping lots of this bright stuff in the water. And I got fluorocarbon leaders on the end of it, right? Never sat well with me. So at the time, I was selling some tackle, and I had a connection with a lead core company. So I asked them, I said, can we reroute these colors? Get rid of 8 out of 10. Can we just go black and red? Black is probably the most stealthiest color people use in the Great Lakes, right? Black dipsies, black weights, black everything. And then red had a tendency to dissipate the quickest as it descends in the water. So I asked them, can we do an alternating black and red lead core, 18 pound for walleye, 27 for salmon fishing and trout? And they said, sure. So they developed it. It came out. It had a few tweaks, some issues with some bleeding and some other stuff. Like anything else, go back to the drawing table, correct it. And so that really spawned the stealth core, and I named it stealth core because that was the intentional, to be stealthy, and it's obviously lead core. So at some point, the FishUSA approached me, and they basically asked to, we'll say, buy that name or buy the technology, and we basically sat down and worked the deal out, and it's their baby now, and they've advanced it since then, actually improved it even more.
Yeah, there's been a few tweaks to it over the years. Really not a whole lot, but it's a great product, and it's been very successful for us. And I'm super excited about the future with that line. I think there will be some modifications to it in the future, which will be exciting and we'll talk about. But yeah, I mean, it's a terrific product, and if you haven't tried it, definitely check it out.
Yeah. We got a few minutes left here. What's kind of on the horizon for you guys? What are you working on for this group?
So what we have coming from a branded product standpoint, we do have some nets coming. I'm really, really, really excited about these.
Me
nets.
too.
Really, really excited about these nets. I think the net, I'd say market has been pretty stale for a very long time. So we got some nets that will be coming out. I think Great Lakes anglers will be very, very happy with them. A little bit of a change of pace. So really excited about that. There'll be several more products that are coming, stuff that we're currently working on and developing. Are 2 to 3 years out still. But really excited about it. But the nets in the short term are going to be the most exciting thing that we have coming.
Very cool. Any good trips coming up for you this year? Where are you going?
Oh man, I don't know. We'll definitely be visiting ICAST this year. We'll probably do some fishing when we're down in Florida. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be several things popping up.
Very good. Hey man,
Thanks a
appreciate
lot.
you stopping by and
Appreciate it.
seeing us.
Good seeing you, Ben.
Good to see you. Good to have you on the show again.
Thank you.